Hello, and welcome to this video. Anyways, truck's been doing good, just kind of, driving it when I can. After I did the fuel economy, I figured out what it was doing, and after that, I don't drive it as much. I love driving it. It just doesn't make sense to daily drive something that gets 8.5 miles to the gallon when you got two Subarus sitting there. Subarus don't get that great of gas mileage either, but they're better than this. So, plus it's got heated seats. I should have gone for heated seats. So we are working on the floors in here today. When I put the floor pans in, I was smart on this side. Before everything rusted up, I painted it. We're going to be Raptor lining the floor in this thing. That'll help cover up some of my crappy welds and patches and all that fun stuff. So this side's pretty much good to go. I just got to clean it, Scotch Brite it. This side, however, needs a little bit more love. I did not do the same with this side. I don't know why, but I left all the welds bare. There's a lot of bare material here. It's not so bad through here, but like over by the doors, it's pretty rusty, especially down in there. And I don't know why I put these back on like last week, and now I gotta pull them off so that I can do this. But it's pretty rusty back in there, so we got a lot of cleanup to do. There's also spots like this where like all the grinding dust just kind of sat, and then it got wet, so now it's like hard, clump of rust. I really want to rhino line the entire door jamb. I'm thinking about coming up to like this line, maybe. Should go higher because that's like Bondo right there that I chipped. I think I hit when I went to put the seat in, I smashed it into there. I thought these cab corners were pretty good and never been done before, but whoever did them did a pretty good job. Because I'm pretty sure that's body filler. Anyways, paint's kind of thin in here. The other side it's worn off pretty good, so I'm thinking coat the whole door jamb. But we might do this in like I don't know how this is gonna go. I've never done this before, and so I'm kind of nervous about this whole experience. But basically, you got to get the seats out, got to get the floor cleaned off, clean the rust off of it, the dirt. You got to get the leaves out of here. Why the heck are there leaves in here? I don't know. We got to sweep the floors, and then I got to prime this side, and then hopefully this weekend it'll be warm enough to where we can spray the Raptor liner. So let's get to work. Alright guys, so cab is pretty much stripped down. Took the carpet down, took out all the plastics. I wanted to get rid of these seals, and you have to take the plastics off to get the seals off. The only thing I want to do is pull the pin on the brake lever so I can pull it up a little higher. And then, yeah, start cleaning things up, and hopefully Saturday we can spray this. And, well, I got this out. I kind of shot a video about this, but I seem to get a lot of questions regarding the accelerator pedal. The 3126 uses an electric sensor for the accelerator pedal. This is the actual sensor itself on the side here, and it is a cat specific sensor. Don't know if you're gonna be able to see that because it's kind of hard to read, but maybe I can Looks like 176 something something 4 dash something something. All right, so that was helpful. Cat specific sensor, so it's got to be cat part. It's a 3-wire sensor. The pedal assembly I actually got out of a Thomas bus, which I just thought was kind of cool. It's got a Thomas pedal in it, but when I got it, it had, I think it was a Johnson controls switch. I think it had a Mercedes engine in it, and there seems to be a standard for these pedals, and all the sensors bolt up the same. So I was able to get this at my local junkyard, cheap, the assembly itself, and then source the accelerator pedal or accelerator sensor separate, and then just bolt it up. And I haven't had any issues with it. And then I took the mount that it came with and kind of butchered it up, and then I took the mount from my original accelerator pedal, just kind of welded the two together, and somehow that's held, you know. But it does all right, does the job. I will see if I can find the part number, and I'll put that in the description. So we're gonna get this stuff cleaned up. I don't know why this is like so rusty on this corner and like nowhere else, but we're gonna get things cleaned up, get some primer laid. I gotta vacuum out all of this hooey, and yeah, should be fun. So yesterday was a pretty decent day, which is why I started this project, because it's supposed to be like a halfway decent weekend. Today is a different story. It's like half snowing out, and it's like 34 degrees according to my watch. It feels way colder. You know, my feet are freezing. Can't imagine why. You know, I'm wearing my safety Crocs out here. Can't feel my toes. Conditions were definitely better yesterday, but we're persevering. You know, persevere and overcome. That's what we do here. So I'll show you what we got. It's also dark out, and it's 5 o'clock. I had to bring back part. You can't even see that. Bring back the plastic a little bit here. A little nostalgia. That paint is still wet. Woo, it's toasty in there. I could taste it. Anyways, so we got the whole cab kind of cleaned up, and that side has 2 coats of primer on it. I did that last night. This side just has 1. It's taking a little bit longer to dry because it is so cold out. Cab did have a fair amount of rust and rot on the passenger side right by that mount, which I kind of knew about when I was doing the when I did all the work to the cab and replaced the floor pans and all that stuff. Not gonna lie, I kind of got sick of it, so I just left that, and not a whole lot I can do with it, so I chipped out as much of the seam sealer, you know, that was holding the water. I actually had this piece of angle iron that fit perfectly in there, and we cleaned it up, welded it in, so that kind of seals the hole, locks everything back together. It's not like it's a real structural area anyways, but there it is. And then we'll have to do some work from the back side at a later date and try to seal that up a little better. But things are going pretty good other than that. There was this like sound deadening mat up underneath the dash here, and I was planning to leave that. I was just going to flip it up out of the way, kind of paint under it, and then flip it back down. When I went to pull it up, it was soaking wet, so I decided, no, that's not going back in. So we kind of cut that out of here. We still have it on the passenger side, but the driver's side is now gone, so we're gonna have to figure out something to kind of help with the sound. But the issue is it's 30 degrees out, and stuff does not like to stick, especially sound deadener does not like to stick when it's 30 degrees out. So that might be a summertime project. Alright, so we're pretty much ready to spray. Just about everything is masked off. I just went through and vacuumed the floor, scotch braided the whole thing, and then vacuumed it again. I'm gonna hit it with some wax and grease remover, get it nice and clean, hit it with some compressed air, blow out anything that's left. Hopefully there isn't much. Ow, that hurt. There's a little piece of metal there from a spot weld. Owie. That hurt. So we're gonna wipe down the whole thing, get it nice and clean, then we're gonna mix up the product. I'm gonna do some test sprays, and then I guess we're gonna give it a go. Should be interesting. Alright, so we got our first coat on. This was my test piece. So I really didn't see a difference between 40 pounds and 60 pounds. Besides the fact that it's 60 pounds, you got a little more juice out of it. Same thing I played with the nozzle. I didn't see much difference, but there's that. Here's our little middle piece. And then here's the cab. I was going kind of heavy on this side, and then I got to that side and I didn't have enough to finish, so I had to mix up a second bottle. I also put my elbow in it right there, but so I ended up having to mix up a second jug of it, and then I had a whole bunch left over because I only had like part of it left. So I'm hoping, I put it in the freezer to help slow it down. I'm hoping that in 60 minutes when this is firmed up that it'll still be liquid, but who knows, maybe it'll just ruin it, I don't know. But anyways, it's looking pretty decent. Get another coat or two and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so we're just finishing things up here. I got most of my masking pulled off. There's a few pieces around my airlines there that I don't want to mess with, so we'll see how that goes. At least I got the important stuff off where I need like a sharp line before it got too hard, so that shouldn't matter too much. Once it's fully cured, I should be able to get that right off, no problem. But it turned out pretty decent. I ended up doing 3 coats, and the first one took the most. It was like a bottle and a quarter to do the whole thing. The rest of them were about a bottle a piece. So 3 bottles. I still got 1 kit left. So we are hard at work. Not really hard at work, but we're here. We're doing something. We're putting the interior back in. While it was out, I took the time to kind of do a really crappy job painting the bottom of the seat. So I did some work to the seats while they were in the garage. I kind of shampooed them, cleaned them as best I could, painted a few things up, make them look a little nicer. And then we are also on the bottom side here, I made these larger washers to help distribute the weight. That way, in the event of a collision, rollover, whatever, there's less of a chance of the whole seat going flying with you in it. So we did front and back on the middle 4 bolts where I could anyways. That the front one up there was kind of, there's a lot going on around it, so we just put one of them big washers on it. And these washers here, they actually came with my they either came with the body lift or with the I think they came with the bushing kit, the body bushing kit. Why I didn't use them with the on the body mounts, I don't remember. I'm sure I had a good reason though. So, but they're like a nice thick washer, and so that'll help give a little peace of mind there. So we're just working on getting things bolted back together, and it's going pretty good. Oh, and while we were cleaning up the interior, seat fell over, landed on top of both of my plastic pieces here that cover the pillar, and broke both of them, so that was cool. So now I gotta find those and replace them, but it happens. So yeah, it's looking good, it's smelling good. Also took the time to clean up a little under the dash here, put some things in, like some loom and stuff. The wiring on this project is I never really sat down and just like did all the wiring. It was kind of a well, you're waiting for parts, you got nothing else to do, just kind of run some wires. So a lot of it ended up being kind of half done, not really up to standard. So now after the fact, I get to kind of go through and try to make it look nice, like it's supposed to be there, and it's been kind of a struggle. So, but yeah, it's looking good. We got my high beam switch mounted to the floor again. That thing hasn't been mounted to the floor since I bought the truck, so that's a step in the right direction. But yeah, things are looking good. It's starting to look finished. Anyway,